It is the Odd Couple. I'm Chris. He's Rob. We're live from the TireRack.com studios. TireRack.com will help you get there. They've got an unmatched selection, fast, free shipping, free road hazard protection, and more than 10,000 recommended installers. TireRack.com is the way tire buying should be. All right, it is a TV theme song Thursday and Teicher's Tower of Trivia in the third hour of the show. We're going to go to the NFL. We've been with the NFL talking about the Rooney Rule, but now we're going to talk about a little bit of coaching because Michael Vick, great former quarterback, made a strong statement on Tyreek Hill's podcast called It Needed to Be Said concerning who he thinks may be the greatest coach in NFL history. Here's Michael Vick.
I was actually thinking this year, like after Andy won the Super Bowl, he only got 2, but he went to like 4 or 5 NFC championship games. Every year y'all was in the AFC championship game, or he was in the NFC championship game, or he was close. He might be one of the greatest coach of all time.
Bro, seriously,
you don't have to win championships to be considered. You know, I understand Belichick and Brady and that whole dynamic, but Coach did it in Philly. And then he did it and he's doing it in KC. You know what I'm saying? I'm always shout out Coach. Like I love that man to death. Like for real, literally, I'd do anything for him.
All right, Rob, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'll turn the podcast off. How about that? I wouldn't listen to that. I mean, where's the pushback? He did it in Philly.
He may have. I don't know if he pushed back.
He did it in Philly. That's why he got fired in Philly, because he did it in Philly because they went 4 times in a row and lost. Come on. I mean, Andy Reid is a great coach. He's won 2 championships, Chris. He's had a lot of success, but he's also had a lot of failure at one time. I mean, he really did until recently when Patrick Mahomes showed up. Let's just be honest. To call him the greatest coach, there's a lot of warts there as well along the way. And that's not to mean that we talked about it before. If Andy Reid had never won, there's no way you would be talking about, well, he went 4 times in a row in Philadelphia, and he went 4 times in a row, 3 out of 4 in Kansas City.
Right.
It's about winning, and that doesn't mean he's not in a conversation about being one of the greatest coaches. I just have a hard time when you think about what he did in Philly and the disappointment there. That was when Andy Reid, and even when he first came to Kansas City, Chris, go look. Andy Reid, Rob G, if you could look up for me, he lost like 3 or 4 home games where they had good teams. Before Patrick Mahomes showed up, they used to lose at home in big games. I mean, there was a pattern of it. So is it Andy Reid or is it Patrick Mahomes? I'm asking.
Look, I mean, Michael Vick obviously can share his opinion.
Of course. I didn't say of course.
But I don't, let's put it this way. There's no way right now, to me, you can say Andy Reid is the greatest coach in NFL history. Right now. What I'd like to discuss, I just think that's clear. Belichick's got 6 Super Bowls. He's got 2. A lot of coaches got 2. A lot have 4. Chuck Noll. How many's Bill Walsh got?
He got at least 3.
Yeah,
which is more than Andy Reid, and he's the one who invented the West Coast offense.
Right.
I could go on and on and on. I mean,
what I will say though is this, Rob. If say for argument's sake, you're considering Belichick the GOAT, I actually think Andy Reid, I think he could catch Belichick and surpass him and one day be recognized as the GOAT. I don't think there's no way he is now. And I'm not even going to say, like I said about Shohei Ohtani, that he's the best we've ever seen. Obviously, Ohtani has to do it. I've said that about Patrick Mahomes, too. But you can't call them GOATs right now. They've got a long list of accomplishments they still have to reach. But Andy Reid, I think he could accomplish enough, Rob, going forward where he could be considered the GOAT. And here's what I mean. He's 65 years old. Let's just say he coaches another 8 years. Is it possible? I mean, like realistically possible. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's possible that he wins 3 more Super Bowls?
No. I doubt
Really?
that. Yep.
They've been to what? How many? 3 of the last 4?
I know.
And he's won 2 in the last 4 years. Patrick Mahomes ain't close to being old.
Yeah, but the other quarterbacks around in the AFC, I know you could take a look.
Nobody's as good as him.
That's fine, but you can look at it and think that it's automatic.
No, I'm not saying that.
I know.
I'm
just saying I don't think it is. I think.
Well, let me make my case.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I'll make my case. I think it's very possible for Patrick Mahomes to win 3 more Super Bowls, and with Andy Reid as his coach. So if you get to the point where Reid has 5, and obviously Belichick has 6, and then you look at their accomplishment, both of them will have won it with a great all-time quarterback. Tom Brady for Belichick, Patrick Mahomes for Reid. But if you look at what they did without that great quarterback, Andy Reid has been way better than Bill Belichick without Brady or Mahomes. Andy Reid coached 19 years without Patrick Mahomes and made the playoffs 13 years. Had a 60% winning percentage. Bill Belichick's coached 10 years without Tom Brady and made the playoffs twice. And his winning percentage is below 500. So I'm saying no way I'd argue that now. But if he can continue to win Super Bowls with who I think is the best quarterback we've ever seen, I think he's got a chance, then I think one day he could be viewed as the GOAT, but you can't say that right now.
Yeah, I think it's hyperbole. I get it. If you believe that, that's fine. I think that as you go on, you always think things are going to continue as is. It was just 2 years ago they lost at home to
Nobody's saying they're going to win.
No, I know
that
to Cincinnati. They lost at home in a game they led big at the first half, and they lost that game. So there are games where you start to see, and Cincinnati's not going anywhere. There are other teams in the AFC. Maybe one day the Chargers finally get it together. There's a lot of good teams and a lot of good young quarterbacks, and I think it gets harder and harder as you go along. It's just so hard. That's what makes what the Patriots did. I got issues with Bill Belichick and the cheating. So you know I'm not sitting here giving Bill Belichick all the love in the world. If you're going to talk about his career, that has to be included. Okay? Right. That's just me. I'm going to include everything. And I'm going to include Andy Reid's struggles. If he never like the idea that he's on the podcast and he's talking to Tyreek Hill, who played there and won with of course, there's nothing but love going on there. You know what I mean? So I just think I take it with a grain of salt.
Certainly when we talk about Belichick, we can talk about struggles as well. In fact, can you find a coach who hasn't had some struggles? You know, I'm just saying,
Vince Lombardi?
Alex Smith, Michael Vick, Donovan McNabb all played their best football under Andy Reid. Again, his record without I hear Rob G feeding you information. Rob G, say it with your chest. Get on the mic.
No. Rob G, don't get on the mic.
You got something to say.
No. He's a producer. He's doing his job. Okay.
He gets on the mic at times.
But I asked him for something. He can look it up for me
during the show.
Go ahead and share. Okay.
Do share.
Yeah, he has top 5 picks as far as quarterbacks. It's not like he's had run-of-the-mill quarterbacks and he turned them into something. All those guys are top 5.
Who'd they play their best football with?
No, but they're top 5.
I'm just asking. That means nothing.
Yes, it does.
Baker Mayfield was a top 5. Sam Darnold was a top 5.
Yeah, but that
Zach
doesn't...
Wilson was a top 5.
But it also
Are you serious?
Yes.
Jamarcus Russell. Do I need to keep going on and on?
You can keep going on, but it doesn't mean that they didn't have any talent. It doesn't mean that those other systems...
that they did.
But it doesn't mean that those other systems were good. And you're going to give Andy Reid all the credit for Donovan McNabb that he couldn't play if it wasn't for Andy Reid?
What did I say, Rob? I said he's played his best football. But it's funny. All of them played their best football,
but they couldn't play
Andy Reid.
They didn't play their best football in the biggest games of the year. That's the problem. And Andy Reid was the coach.
That might be on them.
Why is that? Oh, it's on them when it's the big game, not Andy Reid.
I'm saying it might be. What I'm saying, I'm not saying Andy Reid didn't have failures. I'm just saying Bill Belichick had failures too.
How did Andy Reid get fired in Philadelphia if he's so great? Why'd they run him out of Philadelphia? He went to 4 straight NFC championship
So you
games.
saying Andy Reid's not a great coach?
I didn't say that. I'm asking you why'd they fire him? Why? I'm asking you.
I don't
Why
know.
did they
You'd have
fire
to ask
him?
them. You tell me.
I'm asking you. You're telling me that he was great with it.
He was great.
All right, but why did they fire him?
Championship? Because they wanted to win the Super Bowl.
Okay, there you go. And he couldn't get him over the hump. So
how's he been now?
All right,
How's
but I'm talking about Philadelphia. I'm asking you, he's so great.
Okay, why did Bill Belichick get fired in Cleveland?
They didn't have a team there. That wasn't a good organization.
Oh, he didn't have a team. They
didn't win a championship since Jim Brown was a quarterback. I mean, running back.
That was a lot closer to Jim Brown.
Stop.
That was a lot. That was 30 years ago. I mean, if you want to play the fired card, Belichick got fired too. So that doesn't disqualify you.
Bill Belichick didn't get fired because he went to 4 straight NFC championship games. There's something, Chris.
I would rather.
That's different. That tells you that you're the problem. They thought that Andy Reid was the problem. Who gets rid of a coach that gets you to 4 straight NFC championship games? They said, this is done. Andy Reid can't get us over the hump no matter what the regular season numbers are, no matter what we did during the regular season. Andy, pack your bags and get out. That's what they said.
I've heard you say some crazy stuff before. That might have been the craziest. Let me finish. I listened to that nonsense. I would rather get fired for having gone to 4 straight championship games than to get fired for having missed the playoffs 4 out of 5 times. Oh, they thought Andy Reid was the problem. Cleveland didn't think Belichick was the problem? At least Reid got him close. Belichick couldn't even get him in the tournament.
Is this horseshoes or football?
I can't believe you actually said
Rob G,
that.
Is this football or horseshoes?
I would rather be fired.
What does that mean?
I would rather
be horseshoes. They got close. They got close. You know how many coaches?
Unbelievable.
It don't even mean anything. If he was that great, he would still be in Philadelphia. He would be an all-time great who would still be in Philadelphia.
So is he great or not? Because you keep going back and forth.
I'm not going back and forth.
Yeah, you are. You said if he was that great,
he would have never got fired. He would have never got fired. He's great now because Patrick Mahomes is there.
Is Belichick great?
Bill Belichick? Yeah, according to NFL standards.
Well, why did he get fired?
He was on a bad organization without good players.
That same organization that had been a contender for years in the AFC.
Please.
Really? With Bernie Kosar in the late 80s?
How many playoff games did they win, Chris, in the late 80s? How many playoff games did they win?
Did you watch football in the 1980s?
No, did you cover it? I actually covered football.
Okay, then you should know.
I was there, unlike you. I wasn't on my couch. I wasn't on my couch. I was there. I covered the Jets Browns playoff game. I was there in the 80s. You were at home with a popsicle watching the game.
First of all, don't talk to me like that. Because that's no different than a player saying, you never played.
You weren't there is all I'm telling you.
Next time
you weren't there.
Next time a player.
Don't tell me about no player. I'm just telling you, I covered the NFL since 1987.
You don't let anybody else talk. You yell.
Talk.
Okay, then be quiet and let me talk. I just said to you, weren't the Browns a contender perennially in the late 80s? And you said no. But yet you told me you were there covering it. You wasn't covering it that good if you don't realize that the Browns were there.
Going to one playoff game don't make them always
one.
That's the game I went to. How many AFC championship games did they go to, Chris? What I mean,
you didn't follow
how many
AFC
years. Championship games did they go to in that time?
I didn't say championship games. I said playoff games.
All right.
I said playoff games. And next time a player says to you, you didn't play, then you be quiet and you take your medicine. Because I could say to you, You ain't played jack. At least I played in high school.
Chris,
at least I played in college.
Still talking about that high school
I'm
football.
talking about it.
Like that
because
makes you something special.
Because you older than me.
When you play in,
because you older than me.
There's a thousand kids who played high school football.
Now, you wasn't one of them.
And no, we didn't have a football team. We didn't have a football team.
Oh, wow.
And
what kind of
you
school
stick
you
your
go
chest
to?
out like that
Did
means
y'all have
something.
a basketball
Did you
team?
make the NFL? I played high school football in Iowa with all white kids. Oh yeah, I was great.
Nah, I played in Cleveland too.
Yeah, okay.
With some black kids.
That don't mean nothing to me. That's great.
It means more than you sitting on the sidelines, right?
You still talking
means
about
more
it.
than you with your pom-pom.
You 55 years old talking about high school football. Shame on you. Shame on you. Like you did something special. Rob G played high school football. He's never mentioned it because it don't matter to him. A lot of kids played it. You sticking your chest out like you made the NFL. Stop it.
All I'm saying is that's the equivalent of you talking about, I've been covering the NFL since 1987. That just means you older than me. I covered the NFL and the NBA too. And Major League Baseball too. You just did it earlier because you're older. And I've never bragged like I could have made the NFL. Never. All I said is I went further than you. Since you want to bring up resumes and credentials, Mr. Baseball, did you even play baseball past junior high? At least I did that. So if you want to start measuring resumes, bring it on. It's the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio.